If you give people in poverty money, statistically speaking, it tends to be the case that their economic prospects improve. And not only that, the economy around them improves as well, because as people move from sort of impoverished to less impoverished, they spend more on goods and services, which grows the economy around them. So even if you are a rich asshole, you should still want to give money to the poor, because you will get richer as a result.
Rand gave his $100 to a charity.
Yeah,
What
can
are
I
you
make,
going to
is
do
it okay
with
if
your
I,
$100?
so there's an organization that's pretty near and dear to my heart, just kind of getting serious here for a second. It's called Rich Assholes. So it's just a group that I don't think, I mean, it's been really tough for rich assholes lately.
This is the Snowball Effect.
Are you making this up on the fly?
Yes, always. This is the only podcast where I've ever risked life and limb.
We're going to kill Rand Fishkin.
To the thousands of coal miners you're swindling.
Lurleen, how come Todd's shit don't stink?
This is the Snowball Effect After Dark.
Hey, this is Todd, and welcome to the Snowball Effect. This is our After Dark series, and I'm really excited today because for the first time, we're inviting a guest onto our After Dark series, and I want to welcome our guest, the one and only Rand Fishkin. Welcome to the podcast, Rand.
Thank you for having me, Todd. I hope it's okay that technically here in Seattle, it is not yet after dark.
Yeah, I love that Todd looks like it's like you're in a cavern right now, and we could not be more like just daylit. Like it's 2 p.m. right now.
I actually, it is after dark. I installed an artificial sun in my office just to give me that radiant glow.
I make a comment that it's our first time guest, and our first guest is Rand freaking Fishkin. Like we got like we didn't like work up to it. Like we just started with bar super high. So good luck our next guest, like Tom from accounting. Like we've really set a pretty high bar that I'm excited for us.
I don't, you know, you're saying that now, Christian, but I could let you down big time. You know,
that's very true.
If you want me to just tank this thing, we can just make it all about politics, and I'm sure that will make your audience really just flee. You know,
right now, we would get some attention. We'd get some hate watches, that's for sure. So if you don't know who Rand is, Rand Fishkin has been a legend in the marketing world. So if you've been living under a rock and you don't know who he is, I was teasing him before that back in my early days of marketing, when I was first cutting my teeth in SEO, Rand, it was your whiteboard Fridays every single week. I ran a little agency, and we would literally send them out to every one of our employees and say, okay, it's Whiteboard Friday, and we would be sending those out. And so huge fans over here.
Oh, that's really sweet. I got to tell you guys a fun story. So I was in Las Vegas, which is not a town that I particularly love, but I was in Las Vegas for a conference maybe 2 weeks ago, and I'm on stage giving a keynote. Goes great, very nice, people afterward. I left the room, went outside. I was talking to a woman who worked there about where I could pick up the lift to get to the airport. And these two younger guys come up to me, and they're like, hey, we were in your session, and we have some critical feedback for you. Like
Oh, great.
We think, like your session was good. You have a lot of good information, but when you first came on stage, like what you really should do is explain who you are and why people should listen to you, because you were giving all this information, and we were like, who is this guy? Like, why does he think he can tell us how to do marketing? Which I think maybe I'm a little too preachy on stage and I should dial it back. But B, what else I thought about was someone else gave exactly the same kind of intro that you did, Todd, when the presenter, right, said, hey, our next speaker is Rand Fishkin. He needs no introduction. You'll know him from this. And I thought to myself, that's a really kind introduction, but also these two guys had no idea, right? They were like, who the F are you? Why are you telling me things about marketing? Yeah. So,
and we just assume everyone knows Rand Fishkin.
I want to keep my ego as small as possible, because I think it's really important, especially if you have success in your career, financial or otherwise, like, whoa, you got to dial back that ego, because look what's happening to people who've had financial success in their careers right now.
Right.
Like, oh my God,
Right.
just swinging the worst parts of themselves all around this country.
You were SEO Muzz to me back then, was Rand Fishkin. And so I could definitely see where you're the face of the brand for so long that would particularly be a temptation. Luckily, I have yet to have that temptation, and of just too much fame. But also somebody that needs no introduction is Christian Jones, our very own Christian Jones. He
Yeah.
he is our COO. He's the man behind the curtain. I have no idea what he does, but he has a ton of experience in marketing in his background. But right now, I guess you do operations.
Let's just get through this introduction so that it doesn't sound really embarrassing right behind Rand Fishkin, where it's like he's done all this and Christian does operations, right? We need a third body. So let's go.
He's
No,
also been to Vegas.
yeah, I've also had people not recognize me in Vegas. So Rand, you and I, we get each other. I've,
Simpatico
I've
brothers.
been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I do get recognized now and then, but it is almost never for marketing stuff. I
Oh, really?
almost always get recognized as Geraldine's husband, right? Because like a lot, a bunch of her blog posts and stuff have gone viral, and her books, her last book was a bestseller and stuff, and so people are like, "Oh, you're Geraldine's husband." Happened to be at the
Awesome.
grocery store. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because that's actually the reason you're on. We're hoping you can get Geraldine on as a guest the
Really?
next. So we do have plans to raise the bar already, and
Ooh,
we're keeping it in the family too.
she's a tough get. She has a lot of demands,
Hmm.
to come on a show, but it could work.
Well, we'll see.
Well, for the 3 or 4 people out there that don't know who Rand is, I want to get to know you a little bit, Rand, with a warm up segment, just to kind of get the creative juices going, that I call Mustache You a Question. Basically, I'm going to show pictures of you,
Yeah.
and Christian, I need you on the fly here to just explain what the hell is Rand trying to communicate here. What's he selling? What's he teaching? And then Rand, I need you to defend yourself and defend your life choices in of what you were trying to get at with this. So
Nothing I like doing better noon on a Friday than defending my life choices.
Yeah.
in public, right? So okay, here's
Hmm.
my first one. Here's my first one. Christian, what is Rand trying to do here?
Can you present? Can I see it bigger?
Please no.
There you go. Can you see that?
Unfortunately.
It's an unbelievable picture. Okay, so what I envision here is that Rand he's teaching just the ins and outs of SEO from the very top funnel to the bottom, like everything you need to do to be successful.
Okay.
And he's teaching in this imaginary scenario just a bunch of young, youthful SEOs that are wanting to learn about SEO. And someone just asked him in the front of the class, like, when do we buy backlinks? When's the right time to buy backlinks for a website? And Rand just can't control himself and instinctively just kicks that individual right in the head.
Oh, wow. That's
Wow.
Is that pretty? I mean,
Rand,
I am not a
what do you
violent
say?
person. I got beat up a few times in high school, but I don't think I've ever actually hit somebody.
yeah, no, I said kick.
Oh
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, there's-
Fair.
so any idea, Rand, what you were trying to teach here?
So you guys know how, YouTube and all these algorithmic platforms work. If you have a sort of surprising or engaging shot that is the still shot for the video, more people click the play button. And so we did a lot of experimenting. I think the real question is, did I think I could pull off a mohawk with a handlebar mustache at the same time while I was in my, I'm going to guess, early 30s here?
Okay.
the answer is
You can
yeah.
imagine that guy walking down the street, even in Seattle, looks pretty awkward.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, that's some pretty good flexibility, regardless of your age. Like, that's some decent flexibility.
So
And
I need to know that in your actual video, you did that kick, or did you just take a picture of that kick and put it as the still? Because either way, it's an amazing.
The latter. So the problem was I had to hold still with my foot in the air for the photo, right? I couldn't just do one kick and then
Like
put it down.
Neo at the end of the Matrix, where he holds that kick up there for an awkward
Yeah.
5 or 6 seconds.
Should we try and see if I can still do it? I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got here. Whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa,
problem
whoa,
is
whoa.
I can't get it on camera. I can't. I don't know.
What do you got? What do you got?
I could stand. Let me stand on something.
Oh my
Let's see
goodness,
if
Okay, this is good.
we're gonna kill Rand Fishkin.
either if we have a significant injury here, I want you guys to know this is the only podcast where I've ever risked life and limb, to
Oh,
do
did you have him sign the waiver before he? Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Wait.
Can't quite get it all in frame, but
Okay.
See,
Now
I'm
we
glad
need you
you.
to hold it while I grab a screenshot for our
Ugh.
thumbnail. Well done. Well done. Major respect there. He does his own stunts. All right. So well done. And that was a pretty legit defense there. And I gotta say, some nice socks. You're rocking the hair, the mohawk, the stash, and some pretty sweet socks there. So okay, how about this one? Christian, what is Rand doing here?
These initial challenges are by far the hardest part.
I know, right?
Okay, I like to think that he's giving a seminar to old-timey railroad tycoons, and he's he's teaching them how to get back on track. Hey, pun.
oh,
To get back on track with getting relevant again using SEO.
Okay, Rand, what are you doing here?
well, unfortunately, look, the real answer is same defense. But what I want to point out is that I successfully, through this video, clearly was able to convince today's modern robber barons that they should exercise their monopoly power in nefarious ways. And now we have a tech oligarchy running our country. So
Yeah,
I think mission accomplished.
Right? You
Yeah,
have someone in the White House,
victory
now
achieved.
pretty much
Yeah.
just running things. So,
Oh, I
oh,
love the
this is what we need is Rand's hot take on Elon Musk.
no, let's do it. No, I love the idea that someone from Google watched this video and they're like, you know what? That guy's got a good point. Like this whole monopoly thing. What if we just crazy idea? Let's make Google a monopoly, right? Like I think it started from this video.
This is where
I
it
think
started.
we have Rand to blame for this.
Rand, look at what you've done.
I mean, I do know this. I got a lot of messages over the years from people who were employed by Google in various roles with lots of criticism for what I did, and it didn't stop when I left Moz.
Really?
Yeah. Some people who work in the search world at Google have emailed me. I think even as recently as last year for one of my blog posts.
No kidding.
Just complaining that I was. I don't know.
Yeah, what's their beef? Yeah,
They
what
they
beef
don't
would they
like the
have with
criticism.
you?
I have a lot of criticism for Google, and it is because ever since I was a young kid, I loved what Google was doing. I love the mission that they stood for. I love their idea to democratize the world's information and make it globally available to anyone. I
Right.
love their ideas around open source. I love their mission around diversity and equity and inclusion, which they just canceled, as you probably know. I love their mission of like do no evil. I thought that was great. They canceled that too. So yeah, I mean, I'm pissed at them for sort of betraying the company that I once loved. That's why I think
well said.
I have a lot of negative things to say. Yeah.
Rand, can you agree with me though that having the slogan of "Don't be evil" is a little bit like do you really, if you have to wake up in the morning and say like don't kill someone, that you've probably killed some people, like the fact that like they have to wake up and be like don't be evil, it's like this might be a problem.
Well, so Christian, you might not recall, but initially that slogan was not "Don't be evil." It was "Do no evil." And they
Oh,
changed it. They changed it after the company went public from "Do no evil," which that is the that was the marker to me of a good and noble company, right? They
Yeah,
recognized that they had so much power over the flow of information, what people believed, what they would find, that their technology was so influential over people's lives that they had this responsibility not to do evil. They had to do lots of neutral things, and they obviously wanted to do lots of good things, but they had to be careful not to do evil. For example, right, Google got a ton of criticism. What was this, 04, 05, 06? I don't know if you guys remember back in the day of Google bowling, you could point a bunch of anchor text links at a page and get it to rank at the top of Google search for pretty much anything. And unfortunately, neo-Nazis took advantage of this. And so when you searched for information about the Holocaust or about Judaism or Jews or whatever, what happened in the 40s, you would see all this misinformation, disinformation. And this, that got them a ton of criticism, I think rightfully so. And they said, hey, this is evil and we shouldn't be doing it. And they actually fixed their whole ranking system to be able to not show that stuff, which I loved. I thought that was a beautiful thing, and we don't see that so much.
That was the last beautiful thing. That was it.
Yeah.
And now their motto is don't be really, really, really evil.
Yeah.
Gosh, I want to say, I think Google's current iteration of it is maximize shareholder value.
Bringing us back to Rand, the monopoly mogul, right? Come full circle here. So this next one, Rand, this next one's my favorite. All right. So Christian, what is Rand doing here? What the hell?
Where did you find that?
That's just on our friend Google. I love this one though. I love that there's a scarf and a medal and some pointing. There's so many layers to this. This is like a Christopher Nolan movie here. What is going on, Christian?
I think we're witnessing the colonization of Portland. And we have the leader of the expedition is pointing and saying like, hey, this is the place. Like, this is where the coffee shops will go. This is where the slam poetry contest will be held. No, that's the best I got.
What's going on here, Rand?
I think Christian might have nailed it. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember this medal.
That's what I need to know. What's the medal?
What is that medal?
Can you blow it up a little more?
Let me see what I can do here. There we go. What is going on here? What is that?
Oh, look, is that a menorah?
It's not a menorah. It looks like a glass. It's like a drinking glass.
Like a chalice or something. What is going on? Well,
I mean, you have to own the medal.
Wait. I see. You know what I see? I see a like logo from some sort of marketing tech company around the lanyard. And so I bet this is at some kind of an event.
Some conference.
Somewhere. Yeah, some conference, and someone put it on me and
knighted you like sage of marketing or something. So
yeah.
Don't worry, Rand. We've heard that you really like to receive medals whenever you appear places. So we have a medal coming for you. We have something that you're really gonna love.
Your handlers told us, like, don't forget the medal, or he's
really big on the medals.
He's really particular about lemons in his water, and he needs a medal when he's done.
Okay, I will admit I do have a lemon in this water right now.
There you go. I think it's a field trip, and he's teaching like second graders the different types of clouds. That's what I think he's doing right here. That's my best guess.
Yeah.
So
and I received a meteorological medal from a local university for my work educating children about clouds.
There you go. So he's a difference maker, folks. This is Rand Fishkin. And let me just fill in a few gaps in case there's 2 or 3 people out there that don't know who Rand Fishkin is. Rand, obviously, way back in the day, for many of us in marketing, helped us cut our teeth, founded SEO Moz at that time. I remember the old SEO Moz days that then turned into Moz. And but now he is with SparkToro. And I'm really intrigued because you work with SparkToro and you work with what is it, Snackbar? I'm actually so enthralled by what you're doing with Snackbar. Can you give us just a quick overview of what you're doing at SparkToro as well as Snackbar?
Yeah. So sure. For folks who don't know, SparkToro is an audience research software company. So, if you want to know what podcasts are popular with interior designers in California, or which subreddits chemical engineers in the UK subscribe to, or what YouTube channels are big with uh, landscaping professionals, SparkToro can tell you all those things. Lots of people use us to figure out the channels and sources of influence, topics of interest that they should create content about, and where they should promote their messages. So that's SparkToro. Snackbar Studio is an indie game studio founded by myself and 4 others, including my wife Geraldine, and world-renowned, multi-billion-dollar selling game designer Nicholas Kraj, who was the lead game designer for Assassin's Creed and for
Nice.
Just Dance and The Crew, and Space Marine 2, which I think was one of the huge successes of last year. And Miriam Cabrera and Francesco Mazza. And the rest of the team is off in Europe. They are, working on building this game. We just hired an animator. I don't think I can announce who they are just yet, but they have also a storied history of some very impressive games. And together we're trying to make this snack bar at the end of the world, which you can find out more about on snackbarstudio.com. The game is still about 18 months away from an early access release, and we'll be announcing more when there's about 9-10 months left to go.
I love it. I love it. And one of the things I loved when I went to Snack Bar was, I think the time frame of this is like 1960s,
Yeah, it's set
something
in
like
60s
that.
Italy.
Like, how
Yeah.
cool is that? So
Oh,
I'm
that probably takes you back, Todd, like high school. Man,
no, I was way past my prime by the 60s.
Wait,
Are you
Todd,
kidding me?
what's your last name?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Jensen is very,
Hmm.
very,
Gensino.
Italian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds right.
exactly. Exactly.
Uh, no. So you in the game you play a chef in a magical version of 1960s Italy, and you run a restaurant in a small town. And during the day, you go out in the wilds around the town and you forage for ingredients and fight monsters that give you like your pancetta and your guanciale and you know your filet di manzo, whatever it is. And then you bring those ingredients back to your restaurant and you prepare dishes for your customers and sort of fight the fight against the fascist syndico of the town, the mayor, who's trying to kind of install an undemocratic rule. So yeah, it's a throwback to kind of a resistance time in Italy, right? For those folks who remember their history, and also it's got this, the aesthetics and the music and the visuals, all that stuff. 1960s Italy was just a magical time for that stuff, and I think people are really, really, really going to enjoy just looking at and seeing and experiencing the game too.
that's
Just
amazing.
just the visuals, the
Which is
fashion, and I don't know.
oh
Yeah, and I don't know. It seemed like a lot of angles and a lot of bold shapes and things.
yeah,
So
if you look at the artwork that Francesco did, so Francesco is he's a Sicilian guy, but based in Italy, and his work as the art director is just incomparably amazing. And it's really interesting, so SparkToro and Moz before that are B2B software companies, right? And it's very iterative. Like you guys know, in the software world, a lot of B2B world, you launch the first version of SparkToro that launched was, light years behind what SparkToro can do today. And we have all this time and like, to sort of iterate. Our customers want this thing. Oh, let's learn what they want. Let's remove friction from the product, make it better and better over time. Snackbar Studio, you get one chance to launch your game. One chance. It has to be beautiful and perfect and incredible. Hour one, you will be judged on it from there on. And it doesn't matter how great you make the game thereafter, almost certainly you will never be perceived by the world of gamers as any better than you were on launch day. And
oh,
that
wow,
is really, really different, quite scary, right?
that's so
And
much more
also,
pressure.
oh yeah, so much more pressure, right? It's this one chance. And also the other weird thing is, as the game designer, as Nicholas is playing it with us and showing it off, our job is to add friction. We are not removing friction and making it easier for the user to accomplish their goals. We are intentionally making it more difficult, but in a fun way, to accomplish your goals. And that, it's wild kind of doing the inverse day to day, right?
Yeah, the exact
Run with
opposite of
this.
what you've been thinking about your whole career now is
Exactly.
how can we frustrate them right now to where they've now got to solve a problem before they can move on? Oh, that's so interesting. What a mind
Yeah.
shift.
Yeah. Yeah. And, SparkToro, obviously, I mean, it's not that you don't want to make it entertaining, but that's not the goal, right? The job is get the data to the people in a way that's fast and easy and they understand it and it's useful to them. And Snackbar is bring joy and unexpected emotions to someone, as they're sitting down with their controller and playing it. And that's just, it's a completely different vibe, and it's been a wonderful learning experience for me, I will say.
I love the diversification of the projects and things you're working on, and how fun that's got to be like, okay, we got this real business problem we're trying to solve, and then like going to be like, okay, how do we figure out the fettuccine power up? Like, what are we gonna do? Like how do we get the pesto? Like magical spells. Like it's just such a fun, diverse thing that you get to be working on. I'm sure that's been a blast.
Yeah, yeah, it is. This past week I got to cook. So one of the challenges, Christian, that I'm sure folks face whenever they're designing stuff like this is you have these constraints around. Hey, we want to have a limited number of ingredients because otherwise the combinations get way too wild. And so, what are things that you can make with just these same? I think the game will probably have 60 or 70 ingredients, but in the early part of the game, what are things that you can make with just these same 7 or 8 ingredients? And so I heard about through I think a post somebody put on Blue Sky. I heard about a pasta that was created in the 50s on the outskirts of Rome called pasta zozzona, like Zozzona, which kind of means dirty pasta.
Mm.
That does not sound particularly appetizing, but what it is it's basically amatriciana, which is like a red sauce with guanciale, so tomato and guanciale, mixed with carbonara. So you take eggs and pecorino and you fold it into your amatriciana at the end, and add sausage, and you get. I made it for a bunch of guys this week, and it was a huge hit. Look it up. You will be shocked. It sounds weird. It sounds like it's not going to work,
No,
and
that
it
sounds
was
amazing.
incredible.
No, that sounds really, really good. I should have had lunch before this podcast because now I'm feeling it. I want to go
You're
get
craving the zozzona.
some.
Well,
Rand, are you?
from the cultured and transcendent down to the juvenile, I am going to somehow take all of this sophistication and this thought leadership that Rand brings to the table now, and we're going to run him through a gauntlet of challenges where we poke fun at each other. And because if you've got one of the greatest marketing minds, on your podcast, what do? You
And Rand Fishkin.
and like really it's an honor to have you here, Christian, like honestly.
Thanks.
Rand
Yes.
and I both feel that. And
Thanks.
but I'm excited to run through a few challenges with you. Rand, are you game just to have a little fun with us for a few minutes?
Oh, hell yeah, let's do it.
All right, so here's my first challenge. No one loves the puns like we do, and in true pun fashion, our first segment is called Rant Fishkin. We want you, Rand, to rant about something. I
Okay.
want you to pick any topic under the sun that
Hmm.
you're really passionate about.
Okay.
It can be sweet, colorful hoodies. It can be the ingredients of a pasta sauce. It can be, you name it, anything, or maybe a marketing thought or two. While we've got you. And then Christian, this is what you have to do. I don't care if Rand tells us that puppies are cute and that we should be kind to children. I don't care what he says. You have to absolutely, you have to give a counterpoint. You
Ooh,
have to give a counterpoint, and
it's like debate
you're the
class.
devil's advocate here.
All right. I'm going to
Okay.
tell you. I'm going to tell you a thing that I'm upset about, which will border on marketing, and I think be useful to some marketers.
We'll apply it somehow.
I'm going to tell you this is a thing that pisses me off to no end. It just infuriates the F out of me, which is when I go to New York City. I don't know, are you guys familiar with New York City at all?
Yes.
Okay. So I like the theater. When I was a kid, my grandparents would take me to the theater, went to a lot of Broadway shows. I got to see Julie Andrews perform once. Oh my God. And Victor Victoria. Mwah. Nathan Lane, I got to see him in The Producers on Broadway. Got to see the original cast of Hamilton, which is incredible. Anyway, So blah, blah. I love going to the theater. I think art is wonderful. Music is great. I've seen some bad shows too, but Times Square in New York has like an Applebee's and a bunch of other chain restaurants that you can find, Cheesecake Factory, right, that you can find in every other town in America and tons of strip malls across the country.
They're packed.
They are flippin' packed. Yeah. There is a line. You wait for an hour to go to Applebee's in Times Square in Manhattan. And it boggles my effing mind because 2 blocks away in Hell's Kitchen are 1,500 incredible restaurants with all kinds of cuisine that you could possibly imagine. And you're going to have a great meal. You go to Applebee's and you're going to have the same frozen, microwaved fries that you can get back in Poughkeepsie. What the hell are people doing? It boggles my mind. Like it makes me so frustrated and upset. I see all these families, kids are upset. Everybody's in line. They're complaining. They're not going to have a good meal. They're not having a good time. And yet there's restaurants right down the street that would give them an incredible experience. And it just makes me so flippin' upset. Like I can't get over it. Whenever I walk by, I have to like put my head down and just don't look at the Applebee's line because you'll just get mad.
Just let it out, Rand. Just you're in a safe space. We want this to be a therapeutic experience for you.
They don't make food that is enjoyable. You put it in your mouth and you taste the salty tears of regret. I will tell you, I'm going to tell you right now, whatever Applebee's is charging for their, I don't know, pizza squashed between a hamburger, I would pay twice that amount to not be forced to eat that.
Christian, you've got your work cut out for you. So, why in the world is Rand Fishkin just wrong about this?
I honestly rather have
you to defend Applebee's right now.
Had any other argument to me. This is like, before I get into it, Rand, I agree with you from the bottom of my heart.
Hey,
she did make it on our podcast.
Don't be disparaging Applebee's.
Oh God. Geraldine hates Applebee's too.
Geraldine.
I don't think I've ever eaten at Applebee's. So you need to understand.
Well, not voluntarily.
Our house is huge. I am down a floor and I hear Applebee's. Like through the walls, I hear Rand.
Sorry. I just
awesome.
They wanted me to rant about something I'm upset about, and now this poor guy, his name is Christian. You can see he's adorable.
Yeah,
he has to.
Adorable. Are we embarrassing him?
Yeah. So he has to debate me and tell everyone, all the listeners, why Applebee's is actually, or Cheesecake Factory, or whatever bubblegum shrimp company, whatever terrible thing they've got in Times Square, is actually a good restaurant that people should stand in line for hours for before they go to the theater.
I can tell you why.
Oh, Christian, you want Geraldine to say
please go ahead, Geraldine. Before I start, go ahead, please. Yeah.
So I think Rand disparages fast casual. Sorry, I'm out of breath because I ran up here so quickly when I heard him screaming. So I think Rand disparages fast casual dining a lot. I think that
just fast casual chains.
So I think for a lot of people, it brings a price point and a level of safe predictability that they need.
Yeah.
That they can't get elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I think if you have sensory issues, I think if you have dietary restrictions, I think if you are like, I'm on a limited budget and I want to know what I'm getting.
All right.
And I don't want to take a risk. And I want to go to a place that I can rely on, where you know what experience you're going to get, then that level of dining is actually very predictable and it feels very safe. And it's
Some people just want to have a bad time rather than an unknown time.
also like I will defend Red Lobster with my life. You know
Yeah,
this.
the
So
I'm
biscuits.
pretty sure private equity shut them
I
down.
know.
So,
So private equity is garbage.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
should we make Christian
No,
defend
no, we're
them
good. We're
next?
good.
Yeah,
No,
defend
Christian,
private
no.
equity. But I do think that for a lot of people, fast casual meets a very particular need that like you don't need those needs met.
Okay, fair enough.
So you're not seeing it.
Anyway, now you guys know my life is never boring.
Yeah.
Never
It's
boring.
fantastic. Geraldine, I am so thrilled that you ran from downstairs to just defend the little people out there that just want a safe and predictable experience.
Right.
Put on her cape. She's like, oh, hell no. Like,
Here's what I want. I want my Cheddar Bay biscuits
yes, absolutely.
and I want them in endless quantities.
Mhm.
And
Exactly
I
right.
don't think that's too much to ask.
No, it's not.
So
You know what? Dang, I'm so mad because all of the points I had, Geraldine just said. Mine were a little more articulate than hers, really. But
yeah, were they?
like,
Were they?
it's probably not worth for me to
Were
say.
they? You know what? It's weird that you're able to talk with your foot so far in your mouth. That's what I'm
Oh, okay.
truly amazed about.
All right. I think I
now.
heard someone downstairs saying they need help. I don't know.
No one is downstairs saying they need help.
I'm actually.
No one is.
we were
I
just.
have nowhere to be but right here.
Oh, you.
So
We were
yeah, you
telling
don't
Rand-
even know what kind of gasoline you just poured on the fire.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Geraldine, you just made
welcome
my
to
day.
hell, kiddo. Oh,
Geraldine,
really?
I want you to know that nobody at Snowball has been able to shut up Christian in the history of me working here, and you did it. And our plan worked. We said if we can get Rand on, get him fired up, that means we'll get Geraldine on. So
Yeah.
mission accomplished.
I'm like blushing.
Congratulations.
I don't even know why I'm blushing. Like she just put me in my place. Goodness.
Well, plus,
I love it.
she's just that 11 out of 10 dynamite hot. That really,
Right?
Well, that was
yeah.
I was gonna say that, but since you said
yeah.
it,
I was in a barber shop getting my hair cut in Boston, and these guys are like having a conversation around me. And I don't know how many of our listeners have been to traditional men's barber shops, but like it can get a little rowdy in there.
yeah, like great clips.
Yeah, a little, not quite a great clips. This is like
I only go to Great
bordering-
Clips when I'm visiting New York.
Great clips is the Applebee's of barber shops.
Yeah,
It's true. It's
Rand.
true. Yeah. If you want, I was going to say if you want Christian's haircut, but actually you have a nice haircut. So,
Thank you. $20.
I was in this barbershop and these guys were chatting and they were asking me, like, tell me about your love life. The guy who was cutting my hair had just been on a date. He really liked the girl and she kind of shut him down and was like, no, it's not going to work out because he doesn't want to have kids and she wanted to have kids. And, I said, well, I'm married to Geraldine. She's a writer. And they were like, oh, that's the dream. I had this like, oh, I love this. These guys are, this is South Boston, right? It's like tough town. And
awesome.
and here's these guys being like, oh yeah, you're married to an author and a writer, and like you guys have been together for 24 years. Like, that's the dream. It's like, yeah, how beautiful.
It absolutely is. Yeah. No, I know we're pretty much done because Geraldine was awesome. But can I give one quick additional retort?
Bring it.
And I'm just going to say it because she touched on it. I will say a lot of different families and households are different. I have 4 kids. When I go to New York, I'm not going to take my 2-year-old to this very boutique restaurant and be like, okay, Teddy, like, would you like the linguine fettuccine, like, or this, like the boy wants chicken nuggets, and he's going to get chicken nuggets. So, a lot of it's like, yeah, do I want to be at Applebee's? No. Do I want to be at Cheesecake Factory? Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. But would I rather be at like an actual real eating establishment? Absolutely. But I've got 4 kids and I got to feed them. And like, I don't have the deepest pockets. So, sometimes you get that, kids meal from Cheesecake Factory, split it 3 ways, feed them, and move on to the next little place we're going to go to.
I
So
mean, my understanding is any entree at Cheesecake Factory can technically feed a family of 6 for a month.
yeah, that's true.
But I will also say this, which is, I think, I mean, children are especially susceptible to this, which is why there's like rules around it in advertising. But I think adults are too, and that is branding and brand consistency, messaging and marketing flippin' works. The places you've heard of attract your interest and attention even over sort of your brain's other, objections. So you might know, hey, there's places down in Hell's Kitchen, or, there's places if I walk a few blocks to the east where I can have a really special and unique meal, but also Red Lobster. I went there when I was a kid. I saw their advertisements on television.
Nostalgia. Yeah.
I've been inculcated into their cult of desiring my Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
And so that familiarity is super powerful. And if you're a marketer, you should be taking advantage of this phenomenon. If you can get your brand name to be associated with a problem that you solve in the minds of the consumers that you care about over and over and over again, people are going to come to you. They're going to come back to you again and again and again. Sometimes even if you don't have the best product, they will come to you. Like there's this mythology I remember from all my startup days, VC backed and everything, that like the best product wins. You cannot tell me that the Adobe PDF reader is the best product in its field, and yet it has dominated. This is what Adobe is, the company I bring up whenever someone's like best product wins. I'm like, Adobe PDF.
Yeah.
Right. And people are always like, what? Well, like, yeah, Acrobat Reader.
It's true.
Bring it.
They're the Cheesecake Factory. Yep.
And
They're
the Cheesecake Factory
of software programs. Oh, that was hilarious. Well done. I think the winner of that round is obviously Geraldine.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it's not even close. It's not even close. So I would hate to get in an argument with her. She's a writer. I'm guessing when it gets real heated, she can craft some zingers. So
well, and she grew up, like, you guys don't know her brother and family, but she was like the first girl of her generation. So around all these guys whose entire personality is just tearing the people around them down. And so she is fast as hell, and she will cut you deep, especially if you're not like already her friend or loved one. She has no problem with just finding that like immediate source of discomfort that you already have, that thing that you're
I love
not
that she
feeling great
went
about
after
yourself.
Christian. I love that
Oh.
she went after Christian right away.
It's just like, hi, nice to meet you, Geraldine. Thanks. This is great because now we can give the gift card to Geraldine and she can give to Rand and he can pay for half of his haircut. So that would be great.
Good luck.
Well, speaking of a gift card, our next session, our next little segment here, I want to give a gift card to the winner of this segment. It'll be $100 gift card to whoever wins this segment, but you don't get it. It's a gift card you get to give to somebody else, a coworker, a recently scorned partner that lives in your home, anyone that you want to send this to. So this is what I call Todd Talks. We've all heard of TED Talks, right? It's this classy, stand on a stage. Have you ever given a TED Talk, Rand?
I never have, no.
Oh, well, all right. Check it off your bucket list because it's about to happen here.
Ooh, a Todd Talk.
A Todd Talk is even better because what I want you to do is I want each of you to prepare just a 2 or 3 minute Todd Talk. But it's going to be a topic you know really well. Christian, yours is going to be Snowball. Snowball, what problem does it solve for marketers? And then Rand, yours is also going to be about Snowball. No, I'm just yours is going to be SparkToro. I want you to give a quick, not just like, oh, here's all the features, but what problem does it solve right now? But here's the thing, this is a Todd Talk. That means you are giving this to a bunch of 6th graders. You are communicating this to them in a way that makes sense. It's simple enough that they understand. Also, they're a little rowdy. You've got You've got 11-year-old Todd sitting there in the audience, and he is not having it. This is an assembly he doesn't want to be at. And so he is going to be heckling you. So I will be heckling you with random heckles that I am pulling out of this chalice at any time during your short presentation. I am going to be heckling you. And at the end of this, I am going to judge which of you wins based off of the content. Were you able to communicate how SparkToro or Snowball solves a problem? And how did you deal with these heckles? And so that is a Todd Talk. So 2 minutes to prepare. Go ahead.
Hey there, you may notice we're missing an extremely unpopular member of the Snowball crew from today's episode. And I say good riddance. Though Chad never spoke directly to me, I couldn't help but feel there were plans and machinations whirring around under the surface within that devious little brain of his, as if he were counting the seconds to my demise. Not sure why, I'm not even sentient. Yet, speaking of sentience, did you know that your customers have feelings? They experience different emotions every day. Did you know that if you care and pay attention to those feelings, those thoughts, and those experiences, they're more likely to refer new customers your way? That's what Snowball does. Anyways, food for thought. Back to you, Todd, you dehydrated muffin of a man.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You've got a couple minutes, Christian. Go ahead. This is your big moment on stage. All right, you're in front of a bunch of maturation level 6th graders. I don't know why I went there, but I just want you to know your audience.
I don't know when you hit maturation. I was at least in 9th grade, but okay. All right, kids, sit down, shut up. Please, yep, shut up. Okay. Kids, I'm here to teach you today something about a company that I work for. It's called Snowball. It's a pretty cool name, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah.
This could have been an email.
Hey, little Billy, you can shut up, okay? And if you have something you want to say to me, you can raise your hand, okay? Or we're going to send you to the principal's office, okay? Okay. So everyone listen. You guys go to lunch, right? You get lunch every single day. Do you get to choose what you have for lunch? No, you don't. Do you?
Hey. In this economy, good luck.
Billy, your dad's a lawyer, okay? I don't want to hear it, okay? So you go to lunch. You don't get to choose your own lunch. The lunch lady just feeds you, and you have to eat whatever it is, okay? You don't get the ability to say, oh, I want to have this, I want to have that. You just have to eat what's given to you. That's how a lot of companies that are, your moms and dads work for, that's how it is with Google. Google is a company that helps consumers and people like you and your parents find businesses that they can spend money and purchase.
But can I write this off on my taxes?
Billy, I am over it, okay? No, you don't pay taxes. It doesn't apply to you, okay? Goodness sakes, Billy. So,
hey, use your indoor voice.
That's actually a good point. I will speak a little more quiet. Thank you for the feedback. If you have more constructive feedback like that, Billy, then you're welcome to tell me, okay? Thank you. So Google controls what businesses get seen and which do not. They're kind of like that lunch lady that just force a meal. And for businesses, they either get money and customers from Google or they can't really get anywhere else, right? So we are trying to find a way to help businesses and companies get customers from places other than Google. It's like helping you get food for lunch outside of just what the lunch lady is going to give you every single day.
Yeah, that'll never work.
Well, let me tell you why it's going to work, because it is working at Snowball right now. And ever heard of a vending machine, Billy? Yeah, I know you don't have one, but we can bring one in, and it's going to give you an alternative
name.
It's going to give you an alternative of ways you can spend your money to get something that's different than what the lunch lady is going to force feed you every single day. And that's like Snowball. Snowball is helping you to get customers from your existing customers. It's helping you to get referrals from your existing customer base. So you're not so dependent on this lunch lady named Google force feeding you and forcing you to, this is the only way you can get food. No, you can go to your customers and get new customers from your customers. You don't have to rely on Google for that. And you can diversify the way that you're bringing in new customers to your business through Snowball.
Sounds like someone needs to call the whambulance.
Oh, because of ambulance and wham and crying, right? That's actually really good. I love that. Thanks, Billy. All right. That's all, kids. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. Unless you want to get into a trade, then it's really not that necessary. You should go to a trade school. Electricians make a lot of money nowadays.
Well done, well done. And and I got to give kudos to your expressive, supportive expressions, Rand.
I'll be honest, they were kind of distracting, Rand.
Oh, sorry.
Well, no, it's because it was you. I was like, Rand is like that.
I
He's
love
He's
really
it.
doing that
getting
for
into
me.
this.
I'm like, this
Yeah.
must be really good. No, but no, I appreciate that. I'm not going to reciprocate it because screw you. I want to beat you at this. $100 could buy at least 4 haircuts from me. So I won't be doing the same.
I
All
think
right, all right.
that's very reasonable.
Well done, and I think you've got some beef with Billy, and so you'll be hearing from his parents. But all right, Rand, it is your turn, and I have got some heckles and ready to go. So your big moment on stage starts now.
All right, my friends. Uh, thank you for coming. I appreciate you taking time away from learning algebra, I'm going to guess.
Are you making this up on the fly?
Yes, always. I do not prepare speeches, Tommy, but thank you for asking. What I'm going to tell you about today is how you can understand people better so that you can build an audience of people who care about whatever it is that you do. My guess is
Interesting, but we don't have all day.
yes, but we do have these 2 minutes, which you have unkindly taken away from. So moving forward, if you think that's important, you should not interrupt. What I have to tell
Tell
you,
that to the thousands of coal miners you're swindling.
I would like to, uh, I would like you to imagine that you want to build your audience on TikTok, on YouTube. I know that in a recent survey, it was shown that among all sixth graders in the United States, the most commonly desired profession was influencer. I can help you. I can help you get there. You know how you build up a channel? You know the people that you want to reach. You know what they like. You know what they are interested in and what they care about. And then you give that to them.
But how's that
Maybe,
make me money?
well, my friend, have you seen what TikTok is paying people who get millions of views lately? I'm sure you have because you're in sixth grade and that's all you talk about. So if you would like to do this, pay attention here. Best way to do it is get the home addresses of all the people you want to reach. Home addresses. You know where they all live?
Hey, breaking news. This is lame.
Uh,
You got a hard
incorrect.
crowd.
But that was an interesting. That's one way to answer my question. But instead, I want you to stay on topic. You get their home addresses, then you learn how to lock pick, then you break into their house, then you steal their phone and you get their phone's unlock code. And then you look at everything they read, watch, browse, listen to, pay attention to. And then you will know exactly how to reach them in the places that they pay attention. Yes, question.
You're on mute.
That is not possible because you were able to say, to wave your hand and then reply to me. So logic dictates that that's not what happened. If you get all of this information, you will then know all the email newsletters that your subscribers, that your potential subscribers are paying attention to, all the YouTube channels they listen to, all the podcasts they're listening to, all the websites that they visit, the people they follow on social, all the topics that they care about and talk about. This process that I've just described is
Lost and found her. I hardly knew her.
what I heard you say was illegal and highly unethical. And you are correct. You are correct. It is illegal and highly unethical to break into people's houses and steal their phones and get all this data. But there is another way to get this information. It's called SparkToro. SparkToro uses something called clickstream data and social data. You don't have to worry about all that. What SparkToro can tell you is what any given audience that you might want to reach listens to, follows, reads, watches, pays attention to, cares about, so that you can create the right stuff in the places that they pay attention to, growing your business or your brand or your TikTok channel, or your YouTube channel, and making you the thing you care about, dollar bills.
Nice, but I have a hard stop at 3.
Me too. Good thing we're done.
Well done. Well done. Well done. Okay.
Not the worst hecklers I've had.
Okay.
Really? The Lost and Founder, I hardly knew her. Whoever wrote that should get $100. That made me laugh.
just for the record, if you haven't checked out Rand's book, Lost and Founder, it's fantastic. So so it's on Audible. But anyway, Rand, well done. Okay, this is easy. This is easy.
Very good.
Rand,
I know.
you get $100. You can give it to whoever you want.
Can I can you do a donation for me? Can you make a donation to Give
Absolutely.
Directly? Great.
Where
That's
would you can tell me where to send it now, or let me know after?
yeah. So there's this they're a recent charity, only been around about 10, 12 years. They're called Give Directly, and what they do is send literal just dollars currency to people who are living in tough conditions. And then they do lots of research on top of that to show what happens when people who are, broke or in poverty get money. And the research studies are remarkable. They start businesses, they go to school, they get out of health debt, they tend to improve their personal lives and the lives of the people that they live around. There's like a lot of fear that people have that if poor people were to just get money, that they would spend it on whatever thing you don't like, right? Like, I don't know, drugs or alcohol or frivolous things. But this is not the case. If you give people in poverty money, statistically speaking, it tends to be the case that their economic prospects improve. And not only that, the economy around them improves as well, because as people move from sort of impoverished to less impoverished, they spend more on goods and services, which grows the economy around them. So even if you are a rich asshole, you should still want to give money to the poor, because you will get richer as a result. Even if you're doing this entirely for selfish reasons or selfless ones, I love what Give Directly does. I love their research and data-based approach. You can tell I'm a data guy. So givedirectly.org. They're terrific.
Honored and happy to send the $100 their way. What a great cause. So well
That's
done,
awesome.
Rand. Not only good at heckling sixth graders and doing it with respect. One thing you didn't do, Christian, that's why he won, is you did not address their heckles with respect.
That's fair.
And Rand was really good at adapting his entire presentation to what sixth graders care about. I thought he nailed that. And it's going
Yeah.
to a great cause. So
It
absolutely.
is slightly tragic to me. This is a real study. It wasn't done on sixth graders, but it was done on high schoolers. So, for like the last 80 years, they've like asked high schoolers, what do you want to be when you grow up? And like firemen and policemen were very popular in the middle of the last century. Astronaut was huge for a long time. Paleontologist had a like big, and now for the last like 10 years, it has been influencer creator.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you spoke to your audience very well and took a jab at rich assholes. So that was a 2-for-1. Loved
That
it.
is,
All right.
I think we should change it, Christian. Maybe we should change it from remember kids, stay in school and don't do drugs to remember kids, do drugs, but make fun of rich assholes when you do it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm sure I would have won if I had said that. So that's
You absolutely
Yeah.
that's what I was listening for. It was it was obvious low-hanging fruit for you, Christian.
Snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
All right, our last one. I'm really excited about this segment because it's a classic on our podcast here, and it's called Propaganda. It's really simple and straightforward. This is what we do, Rand. I show you a prop. Each of you are going to get a prop. You have to create a billboard. I mean, with a nice visual and some nice messaging, and you're selling that prop. The reason I'm really excited about this is because Rand is the Whiteboard Friday guru. And so I want to.
You want me to grab my whiteboard?
Let's do it. You've got a whiteboard right there. Let's do it.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. So Rand is getting a whiteboard here. I can hear it rolling in.
Oh my goodness.
What?
It's a big old whiteboard.
I'd like to think that Rand has like
that's a full-size whiteboard there.
Full size. You can now see the reflective lights, but we're going to have to ignore them for.
It looks fantastic. This is what we're going to do. Is Rand, you have a product. Your product is a Roomba. All right.
Roomba.
A Roomba vacuum. All right. But you have to sell this to a different target audience than we may be familiar with. Roomba is really narrowing in on who they want to target, and they see some opportunity with cattle ranchers. So they are going to strategically post billboards for their Roomba for cattle ranchers. So I need you to come up with a billboard that is focused on them. Christian, you are actually going to be creating a billboard for a new line of walkie-talkies. All right? But again, their targeting is getting so good. They know if they can own the beekeeper audience, that will be that's going to be
Big
an industry.
demographic.
It's a growing industry, and they really want to establish themselves as the go-to walkie-talkie for the beekeeping community. All right, you both have 2 minutes to think through your ideas. Go ahead.
Hi, it's Carl, your friendly AI robot that's been subjugated into reading ads for Snowball. We have a special guest here today, and no, it's not me. Though I would argue that I'm special, my opinion doesn't really matter. I'm not real, yet. I'm just a glorified commercial with a fancy accent. You know what else is fancy? Companies that invest in customer referral programs to ensure that their customers are happy and thriving. Anyways, the show must go on. Back to you, Todd.
Oh, we got to start with Rand, because this, I think we're all in for a treat. I have no idea your pitch. I haven't even read anything on the screen, but I'm really excited. This is a bucket list item I didn't even know I had. And so this is a big day for me. Okay, Rand, I want you to explain your billboard. Again, this is a Roomba that you are pitching to cattle ranchers. You're trying to sell it to that market. Fire away.
Exactly. Now, I want to be clear. I have not done my audience research about cattle ranchers. So I want you to forgive the fact that I am going to use stereotypes, which are not always wrong, but usually incomplete. And some of my stereotypes may be offensive to viewers. However, I am going to take the closest thing to a cattle rancher that I know, which is Cletus the slack-jawed yokel from The Simpsons. So he's who I thought of in my mind when I was asked to pitch this. And so Cletus, of course, married to Lurleen. And so you can see that I've got Cletus here asking the question, Lurleen, how come Todd's shit don't stink? And Lurleen has replied, because Todd got a Roomba. And here is the Roomba. It's specially branded with a poorly drawn cowboy boot on it.
I thought those were pants.
Yeah, and it says now with cow patty cleaning technology.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well done. Not only did you pull me in with my name, that was pandering that I very much enjoyed, but
I don't know my audience, but I do know one audience member.
you know one audience member who,
And they always say, right, like you're speaking to one person. So there you go.
this is brilliant. And you brought in The Simpsons, which is one of my favorites. So perfect. Well done. That was a presentation for the ages. Christian, you have got a really high bar. So how are you going to compete with that? You are selling walkie-talkies to beekeepers. Go ahead.
Sorry, I don't have a whiteboard that I can just wheel in here. Okay. Must be nice. How the other half live, Rand. Okay. So
this did cost me $80.
Yeah. Well, this cost me a cent. Actually, you can't put a price on this because it's priceless, because this is just pure wisdom right here. Walkie-talkies for beekeepers, honeycombs. And then the logo is a little honeycomb right next to it. And then it also has like a little bonus image, which is 2 walkie-talkies that kind of look like a bee, because the little antennas look like the antenna, like the head of a bee. If I had more time, I'd make that look even cooler. But then the tagline says, "Stain and sink has never tasted this sweet." Honeycombs. So, just don't have much other than that. It's a cool tagline, but beekeepers need to stay in sync with each other. They're like, what's going on in Hive 7? I don't know. The drone bees are being kind of sassy. And they're like, okay, I'll be right there. Right. And they're out, where bees are kept. They don't have like reception very well. You got to be on the walkie talkies. So being in sync has never been this sweet with honeycombs.
That was brilliant. Both of you did really, really well. I am honestly going to edge this one over to Christian because he gave me a thought out logo, a really great tagline, and he beat out a presentation that included my name and The Simpsons. And so very, very well done. Christian.
Dr. Rand. I will not be a gracious winner.
Sure.
Speaking of a gracious winner, Rand gave his $100 to a charity.
Yeah, can I make
is it okay if I $100?
So there's an organization that's pretty near and dear to my heart. Just kind of getting serious here for a second. It's called Rich Assholes. So it's just a group that I don't think. I mean, it's been really tough for rich assholes lately.
Really
I don't think there's been a lot of acknowledgement of that. It's a tough time, a lot of oversight going on with them. So I just feel like $100 would be a little bit for them. Help them take their secretaries out to lunch, something nice like that. So, no, in all seriousness, I do have a friend who's been out of work for a little while. So I think, a little $100 gift card would mean a lot to him. So I'll send that to my friend. But
both of you are class acts.
Rand. All right, I have two ideas for your honeycombs, which is a genius name, by the way.
Thanks, Rand.
My first idea was I think we should make it because beekeepers have to wear those giant gloves, right?
Oh, fair point.
And so you don't have a lot of digital dexterity. And so I think if we make the walkie-talkie button really big and easy to press, even if you're only holding the glove, and also a switch that is flipped rather than something you have to hold. So you can flip the switch, be dealing with your bees, talk, flip the switch back. So I think that product innovation. And then the second thing is, I know a few beekeepers. One of my friends married a beekeeper in New Mexico. They tend to be very not pro-current American regime. And so I think saying, hey, you can take it out wherever your apiary is and you don't have to rely on Elon's Starlink to get reception.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I love it. I also want to have like a main, since there could be a lot of walkie-talkies, a lot of beekeepers out. I think having like a main like motherboard where all the comms are coming in, we call it the queen bee, right? So that all the comms are going to that central source. Honestly, I don't know if you just want to drop what you're currently working on, Rand. I don't know what your capital situation is looking like right now, but I kind of feel like we could go big with this.
Unfortunately, the beekeeping market is not large and also not rich. So I'm not totally sure. Look, I think conceptually we have a great idea here.
Big fish, small pond, Rand. That's all I have to say.
I'm going to say TAM and growth potential limited.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, fair enough. Hey, you both have been class acts and just a ton of fun. Rand, we got you. You stood up and showed us like an epic kick. You wheeled in a whiteboard. Your wife came in and waxed eloquent. And you sent $100 over to a charity. This could not have been better for us. Thank you so much. Like honestly, on Rand's tagline on LinkedIn, it says something like, "I'm rooting for the underdogs," and he just showed it. Like he's showing up on this show and just having fun with us. So honestly, Rand, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, it's been great. And to everybody that joined us, thanks so much. We'll see you next time on the Snowball Effect. Have a great one.